And we're back. I'm so sorry about the break. Yeah, so I was mentioning that this is a kind of paper where there are no right and wrong answers. Questions will come in the exam where they will be giving you a certain, maybe it could be a fact pattern question where they give you certain facts, and then they say you are the, let's say, a legal researcher for this particular XYZ person, maybe minister or maybe a judge or something, and then give your, write a memo giving your opinion. That could be one kind of a question. So there are no right and wrong answers. You can, as long as you are backing up your answer with a proper critical analysis of law or rules, your answer should be right, or relatively correct and can't be completely wrong. Then there's another kind of question that may come, which will be completely theory based. If they may not have facts, but they may ask you to critically analyze a particular thing, which is, let's say, I don't know, some sort of conversation around any topic. It could be division of power, separation of power, or any kind of things, and they may ask you to say what you think is right or wrong, and how can you support your answer. They will give you a sort of a structure of what they are looking from you, and then you have to again critically analyze all the things that what your answer is and how do you support your answer. Another type of question that may come is a short answer question. This could be multiple choice questions, or this could be a particular statement may be given to you where they may ask, support your, is this, what do you think about this statement, support your answer, and in a very concise 5 marker thing. So it has to be like super short, like maybe just I don't know, 100 words or less. There's no limit mentioned, but that should be the range where you should be okay. So when I say the word that I'm using again and again, the commonly throughout all kind of answers is critically and analyze, right? Critical analysis. What I mean by this is when we are looking at the foundations syllabus, which is completely different from all other 4 subjects. Foundations has a lot of articles, and these are very lengthy articles from very big publications such as Howard Law Review. So these are, again, some articles go up to 100 page, but most of the articles averagely around about 40-45 pages. So it's impossible for any human being to remember the entire article. And of course, if you are not taking notes, and you are taking the entire printout of the article, if you are in the exam, you will get confused about what was written where, and you cannot possibly humanly also mark every important thing in all the articles, right, if you're carrying those things. So the most challenging part comes here is that you need to understand all the articles, create small notes about it. The best way to do it is that you print out your syllabus, and on your syllabus, next to the article, write the thing that article is talking about. What are the things that article is mentioning? What are the important outcomes of the article? The topic, the author's opinion, your own opinion, then the reasoning behind the opinion, like short words, short lines, and then what was the conclusion set out in the article. So that way, when a question comes in your exam and you're trying to look for a legal opinion that you want to suggest in the paper, and then in your support you want to mention some author, then you immediately can look at the syllabus and say, okay, these are the 2 or 3 articles which are on the same topic. I can find something from these articles, and then I can mention them in the exam, case law or article, whichever the case may be. These are and then it's not like you're just directly writing them, you are directly quoting them. It's like you have to analyze the whole situation, right? And it has to be your own opinion. The examiner wants to see that this person who's writing the paper, does he understand the concept, and what is his own point of view on the concept? Does he has a view, and is that view in accordance with what's the normal norm, or is it completely different? And even if it's different, can the person support it? Like, can the person give a valid reasoning behind the support, which is, again, by definition, critical thinking. So this is the most big, important and operative word for your foundations exam. Now, I've already spoken about the 3 different kind of questions that may come. Problem questions, then there could be essay type, there could be short answer, there could be fact patterns. But again, you don't have to follow IRAC format in it. In all other 4 papers, we talk about IRAC. Here, the format can be IRAC as well if it's a fact pattern question. But then there are 3 or 4 different kind of formats, and I will drop a link in the group here as well. Let me just do that. Uh, this is a link from Canly, which provides you guys about the way you should be writing the fact pattern or the format in certain circumstances. And these are the 4 different kind of formats. They are mentioned here somewhere, and I'll actually, what I'll do is I'll put a screenshot on the group later as well, so you guys can have a look at the formats. It could be fact, issue, conclusion, discussion. It could be issue, conclusion, fact, and then discussion. It could be you could start with facts, go to issue, then you could go to a brief answer of what you want to say, then you get into discussion, and then provide a conclusion. Am I audible? Am I stuck? Sorry, my video was getting stuck. That's why I'm asking.
No, you're audible, Akhil. You're audible.
Super. Yeah. So then another kind of answer could be you start with facts, you talk about the issue, then you give a brief answer, then you do the discussion on your analysis, and then you conclude it. And again, depending on if the question is way too heavy, heavy markage 25 or whatever, then you can start with issues, brief answer, fact, conclusion, discussion. You have to look at the question and see what is the best way you can answer it. And nowhere in this syllabus they have said IRAC, right? Which is already pointing out that they are not expecting IRAC from you. They are expecting probably a more comprehensive answer about what the question is and what what your analysis of the question is, right? So no IRACs. You can think of it as a conclusion, like a brief answer. Then you start with a rules application, and then you conclude it again. But again, you can add facts, you can add issue before, or put issue before the fact, whatever the basic language you want to follow. And that's the reason why I have not put a answer structure for foundations together, because it's impossible to, because we don't know the kind of question that will come, and we don't know what is the right optimum format to answer such questions. And again, it's critical analysis, so I don't want to force my critical analysis of topics on you guys, because everyone has their own critical analysis. You may or may not agree with my point of view on law and rules and how things work, and precisely that's why foundations of Canadian law cannot have that IRAC or answer structure made by one basically you can't have a single straight jacketed approach towards the entire paper. Has to be dynamic, has to be adaptable, has to be changing or as per the questions that may come. All right. Another important thing in this paper is that when you are quoting a author or a judgment, you have to mention the name, or you have to, in the paper, I don't know if they updated the tool now, but you have to either put it in italics or in quotes, whichever way is simpler or easier for you. But you have to specify that if you're directly quoting somebody, like if there is a article, and in that article there is a very nice statement, very nicely explained point, which you feel like you don't want to rewrite, you want to just quote it, copy paste kind of a quote. So you are just typing exactly what it's written, then you need to mention the author. You don't have to follow any sort of a citation in this exam. There is no footnotes section or or Schola or any other blue book citation that is happening. You just need to mention as mentioned by XYZ person in their article so and so, and then quote it. Otherwise, they will cancel your paper for plagiarism issues. And plagiarism is very serious conduct in serious issue in I think every education system in the world. So that is, I think, very big problem. And I've seen people like super smart, very knowledgeable about the studies they have done, but they didn't quote the things, or they didn't mention the author properly. And then in their output, in the result, it was found that their paper was cancelled because they did not mention the authors, and the examiner considered it as plagiarized. So just definitely don't do that. Again, this paper has various types of questions. You should be attempting all of them. Don't leave a question which you don't understand. Do attempt it, and no matter what, if you are even doing half of the question, you will get some marks out of it, because at the end of the day, even if you are not super clear about your own thinking, or you don't have an opinion about a particular topic, you can leave it slightly open and give 2 schools of thoughts and say, I'm more inclined towards this, and give some sort of a instruction that your understanding is this, and this is why you don't have a clear opinion about what you should do, this or that. But try to avoid it. Try to support your answer with a conclusion, and you can always leave your answer in a degree of a certainty, like highly likely, unlikely, most likely, unless you want to be super sure and definitive about your opinion. That's one. Am I missing anything? Yeah, this covers mostly the entire way you have to write the foundations of the exam. One important question that people normally always ask me is how to write a memo, and what is a memo. So memo is something which may come in your question. They may give you a setting, a fact pattern understanding, where they are saying that, okay, you are so and so person who's working for XYZ person, and that person has come to you for opinion, and asking you what should be done. Give a write a memo giving your opinion. In that case, you have to start with the identification of issue. You have to give a short summary of what's really happening. You have to talk about the relevant facts. Then you have to do the application of facts, apply IRAC wala application. You have to do the application, and then you have to give the conclusion. So instead of getting into only IRAC, you have to start with the issue, bring in the summary in between, then do the facts again about what's happening, and then do application and conclusion. So this is the way you go about a memo. It has to be again addressed to the person who you're writing it for. You don't have to start with the to or him or whatever. You can directly start with identifying the issue. So think of it as the core content, the paragraph. No need to write to and subject and all that stuff. Some people prefer to choose to write the heading as well, like the subject in the memo, and you can choose to do that. I think it's a good approach to go about writing a memo. At the end of the day, when you do send a memo in the real world, a memorandum, then you're writing your subjects there, so you do mention that subject in your email, etc. It's not a bad idea to mention it, but they won't deduct your marks for that. That's it from my end on foundations. I am open to questions now, guys. No questions. Wow. Okay, all right, no questions. That's nice. It's new for the first time though. Are all of you writing the foundations exam this January, or some of you are not?
I'm not writing in January.
But you're writing maybe the next term?
Yeah. That's why I just want to be confident before I go forward. I'm reading your material. It's very helpful, precise. Though I had one or two doubts that I can discuss separately with you.
That's not a problem. That we can connect right after.
Yeah.
Just do ensure when you are reading through the material, you are marking everything in a manner where it's accessible to you, in terms of
Yeah.
you want to look at a topic, like I mentioned. It's
Yeah.
a question Aboriginal, let's say, title or land or whatever. Okay, these are the three articles that cover these things, and I know in this because my notes have the short summary of all the articles. So these are the short summaries that I can access when I need them. And if you feel like, if you really feel like you want to also read the whole article in detail, or have a printout of it, and when you are skimming through the article, you can see, okay, these are some things that I want to mention. You can always add that to the notes, like, maybe take a printout and put them in between. I don't know. You have to organize the content in a manner where it's available to you readily and accessibly, like very clear. Otherwise, in the paper, I read it somewhere, but where did I read
Yeah.
it? That's the biggest enemy.
Well, it will waste time in searching out. So that has to be there.
Precisely.
Actually, you have suggested some required readings. Do I need to search and go in detail to those also?
Not
Or
really,
your
because
notes
I've
are
already covered them in my notes. So
everything already covered. So
everything is
that
covered.
brief is sufficient, I believe.
Right, but we are lawyers, we are animals of reading. We read,
Yeah.
read. That's the thing that we go through. So I don't want to restrict anyone by saying that don't read anything from the required readings. If you feel like you want to read in more detail, definitely go for it, because when you are compressing a 40-pager article into 1 or 2 pages or 3 pages max, then a lot of the content is going out. right? Some of it is going away as well. Now,
Yeah.
I have written it from the syllabus point of view. When an article is being written by an author, they don't only look at one topic; they talk about 4 or 5 different perspectives or topics, right? So there may be a case where you may find a good insight or a good input in the article which may not be covered in notes, which can always be a case. So that's why, although you don't need to like mandatorily, but you should definitely, like, if you want to, go ahead and read them. They are nice articles.
Yeah, that's why about that. Let me first go through the entire notes. Then maybe if at time, then I'll go for something in detail if I feel like. Then add to it for my records.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
that's the. And
first
once
thing I
you
need to go through everything. Then I'll go through the paper which I already online
right,
uploaded.
right, and
So
once
then
you've done
if I
the
need skill, then I'll go into that. Otherwise, I'll
yeah,
like to
otherwise
be
you'll be
precise.
yeah. If you open the articles right away, everyone is gonna get, oh my God, what is this? This is too much
Yeah.
information.
So once you're in that loop, so it's very difficult to come out.
Yeah, yeah. So once you've gone through the notes, you will have a better understanding of what the articles are talking about, what they are focusing on, and then you can get just a brief understanding of, is there any other important information that you want to bring to the exam, because at the end of the day they're asking for your critical analysis, not mine.
True. 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 Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. All right, then this was a very short call. If there are any questions, guys, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I know I mentioned on the group as well, like some days ago, I've ended my discount code or whatever, but then I've kept it till now because we postponed this class to the new year, so it's still active for today. If anyone wants to consider, please do that and get the notes for yourself. They are helpful. Otherwise, if you are already following any material, do ensure that you know that the foundation's syllabus changed completely, almost like 60-70%. And do ensure that you are studying from the most latest one and not the old one. That's about it from my end.
Yeah, one question, Ajay.
Yeah.
One question, Ajay, like I find something more in say in any article or something, so I need to get it retyped because that source will not be available in the exam. So is that allowed? Right.
No, yeah, no, definitely. So if let's say a particular author has said a thing in, let's say, 10 lines, and you are taking extracting the meaning out of it, so you of course are rewriting it in your own words. That still, that way you have to say, you have to mention that so and so person has mentioned in the article that this is important or not important or whatever the topic is. So you have to rewrite, paraphrase, rewrite, whatever, but you have to quote the author if you are actually sharing their understanding or their opinion on a particular topic. That way, you've expressed what the author wanted to say in your own words, and you are not typing half a page long
Got
expression of
it.
the author.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yes, go ahead, please, Julie.
Hi. So my question is regarding, what should be our answer limit typically, for like the, bigger questions. And I think my second question is, what should be our citation style when we are citing, any of the referenced cases in our answer?
Two good questions. There is a limited number of words that NCA is looking, or they have mentioned anywhere. So there is no restriction of number of words. You can go as high or as low as you want. But again, as long as you have covered the entire topic or entire the content that they are seeking from you. Some people go overboard. Some people write just the right amount of answers. What my suggestion to you is, when you look at the question paper, divide your time basis the question weightage, and focus on answering the relevant question in that time limit only. That way you don't miss out on writing others. Like if there are 4 25 mark paper questions, then you divide it in four halves, your entire time, and then attempt them. And in the end, if you find more time left, if you've attempted one question faster than the other and you've saved some time, then you can go back and keep on adding your own opinion and point of views on the answers. That way you end up finishing the paper as well, but you can write as much as you can and give every question equal importance. That is the appropriate way to attempt a foundations paper. And your second question was about the citations. So citations for case laws, I would recommend you to follow the format that is mentioned in the syllabus as well, which is year, the publication, and then the number, the journal number. So that is something that is coming from the courts. So you can follow that. It's not necessary that you mention the full citation at the end, so the year, the journal number, it's not mandatory to mention it, but it's always a good practice to do that, especially in some cases where there are same names. R versus Singh is, I think, 4 or 5 different cases, right? So it's better to mention the year at least, bare minimum, if you are mentioning a case which has multiple same names but different cases. You don't have to follow any Oscola or any other blue book format for the citations here, because just look at how the syllabus is mentioning them, and just you follow that. For articles, you can only mention the name and the name of the author, name of the article, and that's it. You don't have to go and mention the publication year or the place where it was published, because if you end up doing that, then nobody is going to finish their paper. I hope I answered your question.
I have a question, follow-up question on that. So, for example, I'm digressing from foundations. If that's okay, can you take that question?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it
please.
okay if
No,
I
please go ahead.
So it's more from a constitutional law exam perspective. Is that, for instance, if we are referring to the IRACs that you have provided to us, do you recommend that we paraphrase and then, form answers as per our language? Or do you want us to stick to it? I just want to ensure that there are no consequences, or I don't want a lot of people to be reproducing more or less the same style of writing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking this question from that perspective, because I don't know how the NCA looks at candidates writing more or less similar answers. So I feel like maybe that's a question for you to take, because this is just a thought that I had
Very
in my
good
mind.
question, actually. Very good and fair question. That if everybody is writing the same IRAC, will it be considered as plagiarizing? I don't think so, because there may be a case where all of the people are studying from the same tutor or the same person, and that's why they're getting the same kind of. And I'm not a published guy, right? So these notes are not published in a journal or whatever. So that's why nobody can technically catch them into plagiarism. But having said that, since you mentioned it and it's your thought, it's not a bad idea to paraphrase things, as long as they are being paraphrased correctly. What I have written is also paraphrased. I haven't taken up any rule from the court and copy pasted it, unlike a lot of people who are doing it through their notes. My material is, if you do a plagiarism check, it won't get caught in any plagiarism thing, because it's quoted or either it's rewritten. And even if it's rewritten, it's quoted to, or the citation of the person from where the rule or the law or whatever is coming is given, like the credit is given, right? So in your case, to answer you and to cut the long story short, it's always a good idea to paraphrase if you feel like you can write something better. If you feel like what is written is okay, it's appropriate, you can go ahead and just write it the way.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions, guys? Don't be shy. Come on, unmute yourself. Okay, I guess that's it. If you do still have any questions, I'm always available now. My holiday mood is gone and I'm back in action. So please reach out to me whenever you feel like, and we can always have a conversation on any of the NCA issues, regardless of my students technically or not. I hope you guys are liking my classes on YouTube. Do throw in some likes on the videos, because that helps me with my algorithm. And I really appreciate you guys taking your time out, and I will see you around. Bye.